let me go over your career, because it's very interesting what you have been doing. It's not only
Yeah,
that you changed the beliefs, but also I think you are on a journey also to understand who you are, what you want to do in life. And
yes.
you started with the drums.
Yeah, first for horses, because they're my greatest love, and I love them till this day. I haven't been with horses for 25 years, but I'm with them inside. And then were drums. My first two boyfriends were actually drummers, and first was one was into African drum and drum circles, like doing it traditionally and spiritually for therapy. And with that, so I was learning to drum with him, and from that I went into dancing. Because as we were in Dubrovnik playing on the streets, I heard the finger cymbals, playing, and we went to look for it. Who is making this sound? And the sound was made by a beautiful American belly dancer, Suzanne Frankovic. She has roots in Yugoslavia, in Montenegro. So she came from America to see the land of her grandfather. And this is how I met her. And when I saw her dance, I was like, you know, usually when women see belly dance, it does something in them. It's not so much about seducing men. It's not about that. It's about women and what this dance does to a woman who is dancing. And, I don't dance anymore actively. I'm not leading any courses or anything, but I see it as something that every woman should do for her own spiritual and physical and mental health, really.
So you were working as a belly dancer.
I was having a school of belly dance. Suzanne was having her courses for a month, and then she went back home. And then, all the women who were on her course, they wanted more. They begged me to please do something, continue. I was dancing only 3 months. I mean, I wasn't much better than them. But they needed somebody, who would lead them. And so I really, really, killed myself to get that knowledge. And there was no YouTube videos and stuff like that. Then it was, I had to buy DVDs, and learn from them. And it was a struggle, but it was a labor of love, really, because I love belly dance still. I use it still for stretching, and when I'm cooking or something, doing something in the kitchen, I occasionally do some movements. If I have cramps in my belly, I do belly dance moves. So I highly recommend belly dance to all the women, no matter how old you are. I mean, do it because it is spiritual, it is grounding, it connects you to earth, it connects you to the tribe, And this is something that we lost in the city. And the dance that I was doing was called American Tribal Belly Dance. It was about group improvisation. They had a language through the movements. Each movement was a sign, and they had a language. There was one leader, and she was doing moves, and others would pick up the language. And this is how they could improvise on the spot, looking like this is a choreography. And also, it is not just that the one is leader, they would change the roles constantly. And this is the beauty, because you get to be a follower and a leader all through the dance. And, do you have this language, this connection to the women with whom you are dancing.
And why you didn't continue?
Well, I had life problems, with money. As I was trying to open my own school, but eventually ended up hungry, because my costs were higher than the income, and I ended up being hungry for 2 months. I was eating like 3 slices of bread and a glass of water for 2 months. And I lost a lot of kilos because of that. Like I fell down to 45 kilos, which is 90 pounds, and I stayed that way for 15 years. I cannot gain weight anymore. Yeah, so it
it's
was
not
a
only
shock.
the sickness. Like, when was that? Before the Krishna or after?
This was way before Krishna. I stopped dancing actively as a professional dancer in 2009, and I joined the movement in 2011. Actually, I joined the temple, so it was 2 years after. I got sick from living in the temple in 2014. So I was hungry in 2009, and I got sick from bad food in 2014. So there were like 5 years of difference.
Yeah, so I see you are trying all the time to find your passion. You're trying to make
Yeah.
it work. you're trying to understand this experience of life.
Yeah, well, I understand that Mia Lambert, I mean, my life coach, or whoever I am, my human self likes diversity and likes risking and likes different experiences. For example, my mother, she has her bubble and, she doesn't like changes, but I like changes. I like to feel, even if it's risky, even if I will, pay for it, but I like to try it.
Yeah.
I think this is what we came here to do, to try,
To experiment.